Good evening, I'm Christi O'Connor, and welcome to Candid. You co-sponsored the bill allowing President Bush's administration to go in and invade Iraq. Do you still think that was the right decision?
My view is that Saddam Hussein in Iraq created a unique threat to the security, particularly of that part of the world.
Name one mistake he's made, one major failure, and how would you do it differently?
On the economy?
The economy.
He wants to eliminate the taxation of wealth, capital gains tax, estate tax, dividends tax. Huge mistake, because that tax burden gets shifted to people who have to work for a living in this country.
You would?
Instead, what I would do is keep those taxes in place.
Obviously, your family, your wife, Elizabeth, you've talked at length about what will this mean for your family.
We have.
What type of adjustments are you prepared to make for your family? Very public life.
I think all you can do is love your kids, stay close to them as best you can.
Let's talk about Kobe Bryant. You've been talking a lot about him. Preliminary hearing coming up. Obviously, he's the one who allegedly sexually assaulted a 19-year-old. What will prosecutors reveal in their prelim hearing?
Well, I think it's going to be fascinating. Actually, the public is actually going to get the first look at the evidence in this case, what transpired between these two individuals.
What do you think of that? People are saying, wait a minute, if it's evidence, we want to hear it. Everybody should be able to get at it. Why is it allowed to be suppressed?
Well,
if it is.
Right. In this particular case, the defense is alleging that this is something that contained confidential communications between Scott Peterson and his attorneys.
Of course, the big buzz is the recall. Is this going to, between now and October 7th, be a carnival or a real political race?
Well, it's going to be a carnival, no doubt. It's just how long will the voters allow it to remain as such.
Switching subjects very quickly, what do you make of the new round of .comers going to pornography for employment?
It's not illegal. It's perfectly legal.
Well, no one's ever accused California of being boring. Thank you, gentlemen. That's all we have time for. And that's it for this week's edition of Candid. I'm Christi O'Connor. Have a great evening. You're the self-proclaimed were for 31 years, the Ayatollah of the Assembly, wielded a lot of power. What is power to you, and how should it be best used when it's effective?
Not used at all. Power is something that you have, and you hope it's in a position to cause you to be able to help build a consensus for a solution.
I've read things, don't know if they're true, but that you told your staff the first day in office that if you appear in the paper quoted, that's your resignation, and that you're very intimidating. You don't think so?
No, I don't think I'm any of the above.
Do you have a temper?
I do, but oh yes, I do have a temper. But I really believe that the elected official is the person that ought to be the utterer of what policy is or should be. It should not be your staff people.
What was up with the temper last week? Aaron Peskin thought he'd end up in the Bay, and so he called the cops just in case he would?
He's a little screwed up in the head. There was no such thing as any temper or what have you. It was two people. He approached me, and he was complaining. So obviously, he was complaining about my having mentioned his name. So obviously, it started with him. I was minding my own business.
You are married, have been married, and separated for 20 years.
No more.
You have a
25 years.
Obviously a girlfriend when you had the baby with this woman.
Yes.
What message do you think that sends to younger people about marriage and values?
I don't think politicians nor anyone else should be required to have a standard differently from what you do as a normal human being. The things that I do is that of a normal human being, and I make no bones about it, period.
Why haven't you gotten divorced?
I don't see any reason to be married, period. And the best way not to be married is to stay married. And
That'll do
anybody says, I want to marry you, hey, get my wife's permission, and you got it made.